What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome to episode 103 of Smack Talk, coming to you from smarkoutmoment.com. I am your host, as always, Tony Mango. With me on the mic this evening, we have from Keeping Kayfabe, Mike Payton.
What on the mic? Say what on the mic.
That was awful. And from Nerd Genius, Michael Burhan.
I played with the Xbox One today.
That was even worse than what on the mic. Before we get started, you may have noticed that we already took care of the review for TNA's Bound for Glory earlier on in the week.
Thank you.
That was the first ever Dark Match edition of Smack Talk, so go back and check that out if you haven't already. But
Unless you're Payton.
on the schedule for tonight, we have a different pay-per-view to talk about as we give our thoughts on the upcoming Hell in a Cell event. But first things first, it's time for the Ask Him Trivia Question of the Week. So let's backtrack a little bit. Who got last week's question right?
Okay, even though a lot of people found my question confusing, there was a lot of very positive response. And I'm happy about that, guys, because I love it when you're positive. But there's a few of you who are going to get my scorn because you're crap. Now, DW Diva got it right. Natural Dustin Rhodes. Thomas Sander was the natural Dustin Rhodes. Sort of mix of a cowboy and his father, of course he was. And I Curry says, I have no idea, so I'll just say Drew McIntyre. Shame on you, Curry. But I love Drew too, and that's actually true. That's the only time he's going to be mentioned on the show. Jamie O'Halloran said Dustin Rhodes, a Western boy. And then O'Halloran said, don't subscribe to Burhan. Fuck you, O'Halloran. And that's pretty much it. And we'll move on now to the Ask Him of this week, of course. As you guys know, I kind of try and link it into Keeping Kayfabe. So if you've watched Keeping Kayfabe or you haven't watched it to try and get the answer from this, watch it. Well, not now, of course, because we've got the show going on after you've actually listened to this. So, as you know, the first questions are basically to stump the host, and the second question that's led on from that is to stump yourselves. Now, because it's Keeping Kayfabe, Payton's kind of been disqualified from this today, so
okay. I didn't pay attention yesterday.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw it to Tony. It's a TNA question. There was a match on Keeping Kayfabe which basically had AJ Styles competing against Kid Cash in a tables match. Now, I want to know from you, Tony, what other organizations has Kid Cash taken part in? And there are 3, believe it or not.
Let's see. WCW, ECW, and ROH?
Not the ROH one. Try again.
Hmm.
It's another major.
Another major one? He wasn't in WWE, was he?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
he was.
He's in
Really?
a video game.
Really?
Yeah, and he was part of the Pitbulls with Jamie Noble there. And he was a former Cruiserweight champion, believe it or not.
Huh. Alright, goes to show how much of a shit I give about Kid Cash.
I'm pretty sure that was during like 2005 when nobody was watching.
Oh, yeah, that would have been like dead center for when I wasn't watching it.
Well, my opinion, guys, he was actually awesome there, but, you know.
He was Cash.
Exactly. He was money
just a
in the
kid.
bank.
Kid Cash? Isn't he like 50 or something?
I believe he is. He looks really like 50. Now, moving on from that, guys. As you know, Kid Cash performed in ECW. So I want to know, who did he have one of the final ECW television title matches against? And who was the person that defeated him for the title? And I'll say it again. Who was the person that defeated Kid Cash in one of the final ECW television title matches? There you go. And if you can, for a bonus point, what was the other title that this person held before the company went bankrupt? There you go.
I don't know, but maybe you guys do, so tell us what you think that the answer is, and we will tell you next week who got it right and who got it wrong. We're going to steamroll along here and start talking about what happened this week in wrestling with the hot tags in part 2.